Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to read an article entitled "The US is undermining its claims to navigational rights in other EEZs." The United States has long maintained that freedom of navigation for warship in foreign 200 nautical mile wide exclusive economic zones, or EEZs, is essentially absolute. But the United States is undermining its own position by placing restrictions on its own military activities, and presumably those of foreign militaries in its own EEZs. The USS Guardian, and U.S. Navy minesweeper, is seen at the vicinity of South Islet into Bataha Reefs in a marine protected area of Philippines in the Sulu Sea. China, along with many other countries, disagree with the claim that freedom of navigation in EEZs is absolute, and have placed restrictions on the activities of foreign warship and aircraft in their EEZ. Military activities in EEZs were a controversial issue during negotiations over the 1982 UN Conventions on the Law of the Sea, and continue to be so in state practice. Some coastal states contend that other states cannot carry out their consent. These states include Bangladesh, Brazil, Cape Verde, India, Pakistan, Malaysia, Myanmar, Uruguay, and even the US ally, Thailand. This is an extreme position that is strongly protested and often tested by the United States and other maritime powers. A milder but still contentious aspect of this debate is whether or not coastal states like China have the right to limit foreign military activities in their own EEZs if they present a threat to the marine environment, among other reasons. For the United States to impose restrictions on military activities in its own EEZ would be contrary to its positions that freedom of navigation for warship and warplane in foreign EEZs cannot be restricted. But that is exactly what has happened. The United States has designated a protected habitat encompassing 17,500 square miles of water around Hawaii, extending well into EEZs. To protect the local false killer whale population, the habitat must be free of anthropogenic noise that would significantly impair the value of their habitat for false killer whale use or occupancy. This presumably includes the use of explosives and potentially damaging sonar. This is a significant signpost in the long-standing debate over freedom of navigation both in the United States and globally. This is not the first designations of protected areas on environmental grounds that restrict freedom of navigation in EEZs, and it will not be the last. In 2013, a federal judge sided by environmental group in their lawsuit against the US government. The environmental groups accused Navy training exercise off the West Coast involving sonar of being harmful to endangered whales, dolphins, and other protected marine mammals. Under a negotiated agreement, the U.S. Navy will no longer carry out these tests, training exercises, or set of explosives in specified habitats around the Hawaiian Islands and Southern California. The United States has a total of 14 national marine protected areas encompassing nearly 800,000 square miles. Much of the territory lies territorialized is in its EEZ and includes sensitive marine ecosystem in waters of American Samoa, Hawaii, California, and Texas. Designations as a protected area does not automatically prohibit military activities, but some protected areas do ban activities that disturb many mammals, seabirds, and sea turtles. In some cases, this can even include the operation of aircraft over certain zones. Restrictions on military activities in EEZs to protect the environment is a legal trend, at least in the United States, and may serve as a precedent and model for other countries, including China. Environmental groups say mid-frequency sonar used by U.S. Navy has been linked to fatal mass strandings of marine mammals around the world, including in the Bahamas, Greece, the Canary Islands, and Spain. Yet the United States continue to assert its expansive interpretations of freedom of navigation and conduct its intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance missions in the other countries' EEZs, despite protests from countries such as China that these activities may be violating its domestic laws regarding, among other issues, the protections of its environment. These countries also claim that such activities do not pay due regard to the rights and duties of the coastal state as required by UNCLOS, especially the duty to protect the environment. The United States vigorously protests inward and did these attempts to limit freedom of navigation, but when military activities involve live firing, explosives, or sonar that may interfere with or damage mammals and fisheries, like balance of interest established by UNCLOS Article 59 likely weighs in favor of the coastal state. The coastal state can easily justify its right and responsibility to manage its resources and protect its marine environment. The user state would have to be more difficult task of explaining why its operations have to be conducted within that particular EEZ and not on the high seas or within its own EEZ. So that's all the article. Bye bye and see you on my next video.